Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Dear Divine Souls, Happy Akshaya Tritiya to you all. First of all, I would like to thank you all for your great response for this particular initiative. Right now, I have been trying to explain Sri Hanuman Chalisa with whatever little knowledge I have. We are in 19th stanza of Hanuman Chalisa out of 40 at the moment. So if anyone needed previous recordings, please message me. I will send it to you all, those previous ones. Also, we will continue to learn next verses from here on. Once Hanuman Chalisa explanation is done, we will start with Bhagavad Gita and other things. If you have any concerns or any questions, please inbox me and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. If that question needs to be answered in a group, and I will answer it and I will post it on group, and people will get benefit of it. Don't make any tricky questions or anything. It's because by answering those things, and we don't want to put anybody in confusion or anybody get offended. So it is should be general questions, and the knowledge perception should be there. I hope we all learn something together by the grace of Lord. Today being Akshaya Tritiya, I just wanted to start with something and introduce the group's objectives. Our main aim is to learn something which is useful for us as well as our future generations. By recording like this and sending it to all makes two things very easy. One, we all don't have to come out of our home and assemble somewhere at one time. We don't have to do those things. We can listen to it at any time whenever we are free. Second one is at least some explanation will make us to think differently and might change our perceptions towards certain things, what we are doing regularly or what we are chanting regularly. Also, my recordings will not be more than 20 minutes at any cost. If it is more than 20 minutes, I will cut short it, and next day I will take it to next recording. So we can easily find 20 minutes time per day, and whenever we have, we can listen to it and enjoy it. Also, we start one new Sanskrit word habit. It means we have to introduce one new Sanskrit word per day, or whenever my recordings comes, we have to introduce those things in our daily routine and start practicing it. And one sentence per recording. So then we can learn a little bit of Sanskrit as well. I hope you all enjoy it, and let us start with 3 Oms. This being the first day, we can start with 3 Oms, and we will learn something for today. Today I started with Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. Shukla Ambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigna Upashantaye. Shukla means white. Ambara means cloth. Dharam, wearing. Vishnum, all pervading. Shashi, moon. Varnam, colored. Chatuhu, 4. Bhujam, arms. Prasanna, satisfied or peaceful. Vadanam, face. Sarva, all. Vigna, troubles or obstacles. Upashantaye, to completely remove or nullify. This is the word-to-word meaning of this particular shloka. We should meditate on God, who is wearing white clothes, who is all pervading, who is bright in appearance like the moon, and who is having 4 heads, who is having compassionate and gracious face. Let us meditate on him toward all obstacles. This is what general meaning of this particular verse. Most of us know this shloka and we chant this most of the times thinking of it is Lord Ganesha's prayer, as it contains Vigna word. And universally accepted fact that Lord Ganesha is the remover of the obstacles. But it contains Vishnu word. So some argue this shloka is in praise of Lord Vishnu, not in Lord Ganesha. And then some argue it neither in praise of Lord Ganesha nor in praise of Vishnu, as it contains Shuklambara word. So it is in praise of Vishwaksena, who is commander-in-chief of Lord Vishnu and gatekeeper of Lord Vishnu's abode Vaikunta. So it is in praise of Lord Vishwaksena. It's confusing, right? Of course it is confusing. Let us look into these narratives. There are at least 3 main sects in traditional belief system. One is Shaivism, another one is Vaishnavism, another one is Sri Vaishnavism. In Shaivism, they worship Lord Shiva as Supreme Being. And they say This shloka belongs to Lord Ganesha, as it contains Vigna word, and Lord Ganesha is widely believed as a remover of obstacles. And Vigna Upashantaya, we have to pray Lord Ganesha. If we go by word to word meaning, it relates to Lord Ganesha, and that is why we are going to pray Lord Ganesha with this shloka. Of course, yes, you can do it, and definitely you can relate this to Ganeshji and we can pray it. In Sri Vaishnavism, they believe only Lord Vishnu or Narayana as supreme being, and they worship only Narayana and his consort and other Vaishnava gods. So in this, by praying, by chanting this verse, they pray Lord Vishwaksena. Instead of Vishnu, because they are firm believer in Vishnu and Vishnu side of worship, instead of Vishnu, why they are praising Vishwaksena in this verse? It is because there is a one word, Shuklambara, wearing white clothes. In all scriptures and most of the chantings, wherever we chant Vishnu thing, commonly we see the word Pitambaradhari. It means he is wearing yellow or gold colored cloth. So if this verse contains Shuklambaradhara, it should not be related to Lord Vishnu, and it is and Vishwaksena wears white cloth. That is why it belongs to Vishwaksena. And if we take word to word meaning, we can relate it to Vishwaksena, and that is why we are praying Vishwaksena. That is also right. They can chant this shloka to praise Vishwaksena. Now the Vaishnavism, they believe in all gods and they worship all gods with order. Of course, Lord is supreme being for them, and then comes Lakshmi, then comes Brahma and Brahma's wife, then comes Shiva and then Shiva's wife, and list goes on, and they worship them in a descending order. For them, God is all pervading, means literally all pervading. What is the meaning of all pervading? Having an effect on everything or throughout something. This is what dictionary says. So he can be anything at any time. So it doesn't matter. He can change clothes, change colors and everything. Of course, he is commonly described as Pitambaradhari. But he don't have to wear all the time that yellow cloth, right? He can wear other color cloths as well. He might have described as Neela Megha Shama. It is in general concept. But he is God. He can take any form at any time. He don't have to be a Neela Megha Shama all the time. Neela Megha Shama, blue sky color or black cloud color. And he can be white at times, he can be red at times, and he can take any color, and he can wear any clothes. So in this perception, we can relate this shloka to Lord Vishnu as well. And then this shloka we can play Lord Vishnu and we can get the blessings. But as a common human being, most of the times we will get confused. But we should not get confused. Sanskrit is a wonderful language, and we can interpret same word or shloka in different way. And all of those explanation will be right based on their belief. I always keep giving this example. It is just like a painkillers. Painkillers' main aim is to remove the pain. It does not matter which brand or company produced it or name on it. People's main aim is to consume this particular painkiller to come out of the pain. But people will have their preferences, and they will choose different brands, and they will feel comfortable with their choices. So does the belief system. You have certain God in mind, and you believe that shloka belongs to that God. You can chant it with firm belief, and you will get the benefit, and you will get the desired result. Ultimately, all our main aim is to pray Lord and get His blessings. So, this Shuklambaradharam Vishnu, however it can be confused, still you can chant based on your belief and get the desired result. Hope you all enjoy it, and God bless you all. Now, one Sanskrit word to start our day with. We all say hello and good morning. From today onwards, no hello. Say Hari Om. Hari Om. No good morning. Say Suprabhatam or Shubhodaya. Shubhodaya. At least with your family members. Start with family members first. Slowly, don't hesitate to introduce these words to your friends. Your Indian friends. First start with Indian friends. Then slowly introduce those things into Western friends as well. Don't hesitate. Don't be shy. Western people are more open to our traditions than our own people. I'm not blaming here anyone. We are little shy to introduce our traditions and our cultures to others. Sometimes we start speculating about it. But most of the time, everybody open to it. See now, everyone is willing to accept or ready to greet people with namaste by folding their hands, than shaking their hands. Right? So, change is possible. Let us try it. If we are not successful, we are not going to lose anything. Let us try. Instead of good morning, say Shubhodayaha or Suprabhatam. Instead of hello, start saying Hari Om from tomorrow morning onwards. Once again, God bless you all. Meet you all soon. Shubharatrihi. Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Hari Om.